Hi everybody and welcome to Belvedere and Abbey Garden Farm. Well, I say garden farm, it's more garden at the moment. It's November, it's the end of November here in the UK, and I was really hoping to get some of the spring growing vegetables planted now, ready to harden for the winter. And the weather has turned. It's probably not picking up that well on the camera, but it is actually really dark and it's been raining. And being in November, we've got a cold spell cutting through. The time now is just gone 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so we've only got another maybe hour, 2 hours of daylight left. I'm not sure I'm going to get out there today, in all honesty, which is a shame. But there's a project we could do today to start things off. Let me show you. Just moved into the kitchen because here on the windowsill, I just move stuff out of the way, we have a flourishing collection of spider plants. Now, I'm still learning a lot about gardening and growing things. I'm not an expert by any stretch of imagination, but one plant that I sort of managed to start off with as a really simple and easy house plant was the spider plant, because it is extremely difficult to kill one of these things. And as you can see, they like to reproduce at a drastic rate, even if they're not actually planted in anything. They'll just try and start putting roots in the middle of nowhere. So it's a fantastic plant to keep, and we've kept this collection. This has sort of spawned others over the years. There's a fair few on the windowsill here. And what I thought I might do today is take some of these new plants and cut them off from the mother plant and pot them up. So that's something we can actually do today, even though the weather is a bit bad. So let's go and find my shears, we'll take some cuttings and we'll head out to the greenhouse and see if we can get some pots together, and as I said, we'll pot these up. Okay, so I've just gone outside to get a pair of shears, and all we're going to do is, where this runner, I'll show you that, has come off here, we've now got two separate plants growing. So what we're going to do is just snip it there, and then what I'll do is I'll use this Tupperware container and we'll put the new plants just in the container. And again, I'll show you here. So here's the plant. You'll notice that it will actually try and flower. That's fine, so we need to cut past the flower section, and then there's 1, 2, 3, potentially 4, I count 4 plants on that. So we cut there, that's another shoot, and so on. What you then can do with your main house plants is you can cut back, once you've harvested the runners, cut back and you can take that off and throw that straight in the compost, like so. Okay, hello and welcome to the greenhouse. I was going to do like a shot outside, you know, all establishing and show you outside the building, but you can probably hear the rain. It's just horrible, so we're kind of like cowling in here. Also, I apologise for the glowing jacket. No, I don't need to be visible in my own garden, but trust me, this is the warmest jacket I have, so, you know, does the job. It's not warm out there, it's a bit better in here, but you know, anyway. Also, I should say I apologise for the mess that you'll probably see shortly. As I said, we've just finished sort of autumn, beginning of winter now, so we're kind of November time. So it's literally, we've just thrown everything in here, got all the old plants out, thrown, you know, tubs and tools and God knows what has just been junked in here. We need to sort it out, I know that. But anyway, let's get these spider plants potted up. So what I've got here is, there's the cuttings. And I found some suitable container pots to put them in. They're a bit mucky. Ideally you'd probably want to clean these up really, but they'll be alright. So we'll start with one. And basically, to pot anything up, what we need to do is we need to add drainage to the bottom. Now, to do that, I have some grit, which is in a bucket just down here. So let's say I have some pebbles and some grit. I'll show you that. And we're just going to put some in the bottom, like so, because one, that'll help with drainage, and also it gives the container a little bit of weight if the plant's a little bit on the light side. Okay, now we can fill the rest up with compost. I just have some bagged compost down here. You could use your own out of the garden if you've got any. You could use potting compost. It's probably better to use potting compost, but spider plants are pretty great at adapting and surviving to pretty much anything. So I'm just going to put a sort of generic bagged garden compost in, like so. And this stuff tends to be very, very dry, so it can actually go everywhere. If I just show you, it's sort of got a brown consistency and it's really dry and powdery. So, and you can compress that down just a little bit. So generally get it everywhere, but there we are. Okay. So with that done, you can either take a pencil or just use your finger or whatever, and we're just going to make a hole in the middle. I actually recommend just putting your finger in and doing that, in all honesty. So we're going to take our cuttings, and you can prune them, but I'm just going to snip off one like so. Now you'll notice, if I show you this, that it's already starting to grow roots, despite the fact it's not planted in anything, and it's got some dead growth and some new fresh growth. So all we have to do is literally just pop that in the middle and press down round. Like so, and that is planted up. It will need some water, but I usually do watering last because this stuff's really dry at the moment, so it's actually easier to work with. If I water this one, get water all over the potting area, everything else gets damp and it just gets muddy and horrible and more difficult to work. Okay, so we got 5 reasonable plants potted up. Now what we need to do is give them a little spot of water, something we're not in any short supply of today. So let's grab the watering can, which has been sitting outside. And we don't need to flood these, but we just need to give them a little bit of moisture. To start them off. And that will encourage the roots to grow out and help bind all the compost and the soil together. And the plant should hopefully bed in. There we go, just a little bit more. And that's pretty much all we have to do, and we just let that just drain through a moment. What you might find, if you've got to spare a plastic seed tray like this, obviously try and shake any dirt out of it you can before we start. Because these will leak water and go straight through, I'll show you that, go straight through, we just put our plants into a tray. This is the advantage of using square plant pots. There we go. Is that now we can take that back into the house, and when we come to water it again, it won't just pour all over the windowsill. Okay, it's now getting seriously dark out there. Probably a bit hard to tell, the camera always picks up more light than the eye does, but oh well. So I've been trying to find some space to put these. Windowsill space is going to be a premium, especially coming into the new year. So what I'm going to do is I've found some space here in the bedroom, and I'm just going to, where possible, put some newspaper down like that, and then we're going to put the seed tray with the new plants on top of that. Okay, and there we go, like so. There we are, so we'll leave those there. We'll see what those do. Now they'll probably need, or at least a month or two, to establish a root bed, and they'll start flourishing and expanding out. Hopefully come the spring they'll be fully fledged stable pot plants, and might be able to sell them at a flea market or something like that. So yeah, if you're new to plants at all, or just fancy having an office pot plant or something on the desk to brighten up the day, try a spider plant. They are seriously and insanely easy to look after. Literally, if you have one that's established, you just have to water it occasionally when it looks dry. That's pretty much it. They don't need an awful lot of light. They do need light, obviously, but not an awful amount. They don't actually have to sit on windowsills. They just sit inside in room temperature all day, all year round. No problem at all. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me for this very first video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you real soon right here on B&A Garden Farm. Until next time, bye for now.